Hey, this is Scott Snyder, and you're watching the Sci-Fi Center.
Welcome to the Sci-Fi Center, the place to be, where comic books and wrestling collide magically. Movies, TV shows, and pop culture we share. Get ready to rock, we're here to take you there. From superheroes to aliens in outer space, we've got the latest news and reviews in our embrace. Turn on your screen, let the neon lights glow. We'll take you back to the 80s. Let's rock and roll. Sci-Fi Center, where the legends come alive. Get ready to geek out, let your imagination fly. We're diving into the past with a touch of modern flair. Sci-Fi Center, we go to let pop culture lair.
Hello, and a very, very, very happy, I almost said Saturday, happy Friday. We usually don't stream on Friday nights, but because it's Comic-Con, here we are. Welcome to night 2, the third overall night, but the first, actually the second full day of 2026 San Diego Comic-Con. I'm your host. Don't know if we're going to have a co-host because obviously we're starting on a Friday and we're late, but I'm here. And today I did not get a chance to do the walk-alongs in both Inside and Out that I wanted to do because I had a battery issue. The port on one of my devices would not take the USB-C, so I had to get that repaired. But I had no way to charge the one camera that I wanted to use for that. So and I didn't want to ghetto-fy it. So we will be doing that tomorrow. I'll see if I can get it scheduled. Once I find out what time we're going to be interviewing Robert Meyer Burnett, getting that recorded, then I will be able to set it up. Both we'll be doing 2 of them. One of them will be the convention floor, and then the other one will be the exterior stuff, the gas lamp, and a lot of the things that they got set up outside. We're going to check that out. We'll do that live. Today was fun. Like I told you guys last night, I decided that I was not going to be doing Hall H on Saturday because I did not want to blow 10 hours of my day for one panel of Marvel. And I truly don't believe that they'll be able to outdo themselves in 2024 of the Robert Downey one. But in any event, even if they did, there's a lot of stuff that I want to get accomplished and done at this convention. We spent a good half of the day today at Hall H, and we're going to show you the two events that I was there for, which is the Blade Runner 2099 presentation and the trailer, which we will watch, and the Lanterns trailer. And if you look at the Twitter page, and we'll go over to that. The Lanterns presentation was awesome. The Lanterns presentation gave you a lot of information. They gave you the premise. They gave you the villains, who the villains are. They showed you the dynamic between Kyle Chandler and Aaron Pierre characters. But the footage they showed us, they gave us 8 extensive clips. The clips were pretty long. That's the most I've ever seen on a panel for one show. They gave us 8 clips or 7 clips, and they were all good. They were varying, degrees of time throughout, where this takes place and when it takes place. Some of them take place in the past, some of them take place in the present. But the stuff that they showed us just reinforced my confidence in what this show is going to be. Damon Lindelof was there. But Bunny was there. I mean, all the children were there, and Aaron Pierre was there. And Kyle Chandler was there. So it was a good panel. for as far as I'm concerned, what they did, what HBO did with Lanterns, is what Warner Brothers in general needs to do with all their superhero stuff. Lanterns feels like an event. Lanterns feels like an event that you really should be able to see. What's up? I'm wanting to think that the better sound and the better visual quality comes from the two pieces of equipment that I've added to the show. I mean, we're gonna find out when I get back to hell, when I get back to Vegas, with its 113-degree heat and humidity, because I'll use the same equipment there at the store or at the office, and we'll see how it goes. Hopefully, I would like to think that I invested in some pretty decent equipment, but who knows? Maybe I'll sound like shit when I get back. All right. I've got to go ahead and we're going to go ahead and start with the Blade Runner 2099 trailer real quick. I don't know if Amazon has rules kicking us off, but if we disappear, that's why. But it's out there, so I don't know if they'll give us a problem. So sorry, I'm not completely set up, but I was literally just on the Vodka stream and I ended that just before I got on here, so I needed to make sure that we all right, so let's see this. Share screen. Nice. All right. So might get knocked down for this, but no, I'm gonna do it.
We already fought a war. We lost. Replicants. They keep taking it all away. How much longer? Until we have nothing. Until we are nothing. The old world forever fights to come back. Humans want what was taken from them. But it's our time now.
All right. It met all my expectations. It met all my expectations. That sound score in that trailer is amazing, and what you just saw there does not do it justice, because when you're in Hall H, which is like a theater type of situation with those speakers blaring that, it augmented it. So we got the premise. We got the premise, and we got a little bit more meat on the bone for what the show's about. We also got what was elusive for a while, which was the release date, November 25th, and it is going to be from what I could understand from the presentation today, it is going to be released in sequence. And if that is truly the case, that's another one we're going to be doing watch parties. So we're already going to be doing watch parties for Lanterns, which is the next trailer coming up. And then we're going to be doing watch parties for Blade Runner. Even if I'm the only motherfucker watching it, it's Blade Runner. I was so happy to be there for that, and to see Michelle Yeoh came out, Hunter Schafer came out. Those are the two main actresses that came out to present, and then they had the showrunner and some of the other people that are working behind the scenes of the show, but it was primarily those two talking about it. And if you look at the story, there are other characters in there, but it revolves around those two. So it is 50 years past Blade Runner 2049, and the war that you saw, the uprising that you saw form and begin in 2049, it has happened, and the replicants rose up, and now they are the dominant species. Humans are basically fighting for scraps. The replicants have pretty much turned the script on normal humans. And the character you see Hunter Schafer playing she is posing as a replicant because you can't really get anything. There's nothing left for humans, so she's posing as a replicant in order to get resources and things like that. Michelle Yeoh is a detective. She is a Blade Runner, and she's a Blade Runner at the end of her life, at the end of her cycle. So there's that dynamic here. So they gave you those pieces. They didn't give you. There's an underlying mystery that they're hinting at, but I don't know if we're going to get another trailer simply because this is not a movie; it's a TV show. But everything that the Blade Runner universe has given me, I've enjoyed, and this is going to be the first time we're not only just getting more high-end, high-quality Blade Runner, we're getting 8 episodes, I believe, to tell this story. We've only been given an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes for the original Blade Runner, and then we were given 2 hours and 45 minutes. But even though that was a long movie, it's just not enough to cover a lot of the things that I think flesh these things out. Now we also have Blade Runner Black Lotus. If you guys haven't watched Blade Runner Black Lotus and you are a Blade Runner fan, you are cheating yourself. You are robbing yourself. Yeah, it's an animated thing that was on Adult Swim. It aired really late at night a few years ago, and it's excellent. And then we also have Blade Runner Comics by Titan Press. Everything, and that's really hard for a franchise to do. It's every franchise has misses and things that are like the quality drops every now and then. It's everybody has a bad day at the office. So far in my lifetime, Blade Runner, in my opinion, has not had a bad day at the office. And it shows in this trailer, in this presentation. And I'm so happy that it was Amazon, who doesn't believe in budgets. They understand the IP for what it is and the demo that it will bring to Amazon.com, and they went full blast. You watch that trailer, and some of the they showed us scenes as well. The budget, there was no expense spared, and I love it. So. It's an opinion, I guess. I mean, Michelle Yeoh, maybe because I don't know if because you just saw the trailer, we saw other scenes, but I already know Michelle Yeoh can carry things on her. Hunter Schafer, I've only seen her in Euphoria, and I've never really seen either one of them under this premise. So even if I wasn't as high on the leads, they're being elevated to a story, and a lot of times people will elevate to the task. So, yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I loved it. Like I said, I got caught up in that sound score, and they just outdid themselves. Yeah, they're probably. I mean, Michelle Yeoh's a martial arts trained, so. And I saw Hunter Schafer using it because she's fighting her at the beginning when they're chasing her. We've already had one. Aaron, look up Blade Runner Black Lotus. It's a 13 episode. It is brilliant. If you have not seen Blade Runner Black Lotus, I think you can get it on HBO Max, but the episodes are available. It is a beautifully done, true to the spirit of Blade Runner animation. And just like that was true to its form, this trailer, everything we saw today is Blade Runner. If you were, in my opinion, if you were a fan of Blade Runner, you were drawn into this. This felt like Blade Runner. It not only did it feel like Blade Runner, it felt like something that like I said on the basket stream, that I can bring somebody who's not caught up in the lore of Blade Runner, and I can start them out here. So that's why it felt very accessible. So, all right, last but not late, but here's Brad. 10 minutes late. What's going on? What's up? All right, so we
got a Lancers trailer. We got a Lancers trailer today that actually had green in it. God forbid.
Yeah, I don't know how much more I can take because listen, those guys who were bitching and moaning about that, I'm going to tell you outright. You may think that your opinion means something to HBO. I'm here to, and this includes my opinion as a geek. Your opinion doesn't mean anything to these guys. They know their audience. They know what they're doing. They got matches with Emmys. The guy who's doing this has several Emmys for telling the superhero story that he told, and several others from things that he's done on HBO, the people doing this know the HBO audience. They know what they're doing. If you want your comic book looking thing, then come to my place or go to your local comic book store and pick up a comic book off the shelf. The HBO guys know what they're doing. They've been doing it longer than some of you've all been alive. Not only have they been doing it, they've been successful at it. So whatever they have
Hey, Aaron,
done,
Aaron, the trailer, it had.
hold on.
It actually had
I don't have a lot of
construct.
time.
It
I
actually
don't
had
have a lot of
constructs.
time.
How do you?
I don't have a
Oh,
lot of time
wow.
to be silly. Rightfully so.
I mean, that's serious.
HBO is listening to the people that they need to listen to. There are comic book stores all across the nation. Step into one if that's what you're looking for. They have continuously met the standards of HBO shows. And if you can't hang with that, listen, I'd love you to watch this with me. But they're not going to miss you. They know the percentage of people out there that think this way. They've done the math. They're good at math. And they know their audience. I think HBO, Casey Boys, and HBO Max know their target audience for this time slot and this type of show better than any fanboy, including myself, is going to know. So all the complaints that I had, listen, every opinion is valid, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it means something. We all have opinions. Like they say, opinions are like assholes. We all have them. But just because you have an opinion, don't get that conflated with that opinion meaning something to the people running this show or to the 98% of the people who are going to watch the show who are never going to pick up a comic. And I think that's what people don't understand. I would love for that number to flip. Financially, it would be awesome. But the vast majority of people who will watch this show on August 16th, we'll be streaming it. We'll be all over it. The vast majority of the people who are going to watch this show are not going to fall and buy the type of gimmicks that a guy like me, might try to force on them. They will lose their audience. There are places for you to go to get that, and it ain't HBO. So I'm okay with the way this has been. I told you from day one, minute one, when I saw the first trailer, I was okay with it. That is the HBO standard. That is a proven standard. And that's who they should be marketing towards a larger percentage. And they have, and they've done. And when we saw this presentation today, holy shit. This is the best DC presentation I've seen in a long time. And it's one of the better Hall H panels I've seen. There was a lot here. And the people who haven't seen the stuff that we were able to see today that are saying a lot of this, oh, it's not enough green and all this just really stupid shit.
All that's accurate.
Hold on. I don't have time
stuff.
for silliness. I don't have time for silliness, and that's what this is. If you guys had been sitting in the panel, some of you won't admit how stupid some of the shit you were saying is. That's fine. I don't need to hear it. I don't get paid on you guys for chatting shit. Don't care. Enjoy what you enjoy. But if you saw what we saw today, some of the silly shit that I've been hearing, I'm sitting next to Phil laughing at some of these people in my head like they didn't see what we saw today. This show is a Green Lantern show through and through. And if you saw the trailer, because we got way more than that trailer. Fucking they gave us, we were like one clip after another. We're like, okay, we're going to get a couple of clips. Maybe they'll show the episode. But when they didn't show the episode and they showed us a couple clips, all right, cool. Then they just kept rolling out clips. And the clips weren't short clips. We got a full-on scene with Sinestro. We got a full-on scene with him interrogating the Manhunter, the one where he says, I'm Hal Jordan, Green Lantern. That scene turns out really cool. We got to see the scene where he's driving him off the cliff, where he says, here you go. And we got to see how John Stewart survives that, which is kind of funny. We get to see a lot of the dynamic that goes on between Kyle Chandler and Aaron Pierre. And you get to see them use these rings extensively throughout the clips that we saw. And you see him in space. And you do see Hal Jordan wearing the uniform. Now, the Hal Jordan that is in this show is, everybody knows who he is, and he's a celebrity. They're taking pictures with him. And one little girl says, Mom says, Mom's wondering if you're ever going to wear the uniform again. He's like, I pull it out for special occasions. You do see him on one of those occasions because once he finds out who the actual enemy, the premise the enemy is in this show, he goes to ask Sinestro about him, and it's the Manhunters. For those of you who are geeks, you know who they are, and you know, obviously, you know their attachment to the Guardians and the Green Lanterns. And if you've been reading, you know they'll explain it to you why they are doing what they're doing. But the comic books tell you what they were doing. And you also see Laura Linney's character. Remember, she's talking to Aaron Pierre. She is a Guardian, and I believe she is a corrupt Guardian trying to manipulate John Stewart into the position of Green Lantern and trying to get rid of Hal Jordan. They give you that sense. A lot of character development just in some of the scenes that we saw. But if you were one of those souls that were like, it's not enough green, this is the only thing I'm going to tell you. This is the only thing I'm going to tell you. They make this show for a reason. I'm putting myself in this community. I'm putting myself in that number. They don't fucking need us. They aimed their ad campaign towards the people that they know they're going to get. But I'll tell you this, without just, I would tell you this. You will not be wanting for a green. You will not be wanting. Some of the constructs are fucking cool. Because John Stewart is
see him in the trailers,
Too bad. Too fucking bad. The right people saw what they needed to see. Aaron Pierre's. They didn't ask you.
I'll give my opinion on the left.
That's fine. The constructs that John Stewart makes versus what Hal Jordan makes are too distinct because he's a Marine and he's also an architect. So they've merged both of his origin stories together, and you learn a lot about John Stewart in these clips. You also Kyle Chandler plays asshole Hal, and he plays him perfectly. There are some things that go on in the clips that are just outright hilarious. The way they play off of each other.
I thought you were in the office for a second there with the phone ringing.
No, I'm in the lobby, and it's the lobby phone ringing. No, I'm 285 miles away. I be honest with you, if you are open-minded about this show and you don't get caught up in the fanboy bullshit leading up to it, if you are open-minded and if you're a Green Lantern, I think you're going to enjoy this. I could be completely wrong, but forget about the ad campaign wasn't for you. I don't expect people to be like, fine. They have to appeal to who's going to be watching this show. But I think the shows, the way we saw these clips today, every Green Lantern, dude, the Sinestro scene is, oh my God. All right, so it's Hannibal Lecter-ish, but not Silence of the Lamb Hannibal Lecter. It's Manhunter. Go back and watch the scene where Graham meets Hannibal Lecter. The interaction, and it's intense as fuck between those two. Because they show you a little bit of the trailer, but we saw the whole scene between them. We saw him arrive. He arrives in this nice little green suit. He arrives at, I think it's or wherever they got Sinestro locked up. And you actually see if, Sinestro and Sinestro's fucking with him. He's like, tell me about John Stewart. He's like, how do you know that name? Well, I have trainees. They have trainees. I find out things. But there's one scene, I don't know how much because I have to rewatch the trailer. We're about to watch that right now. Where he's like, well, he's just a backup. He's like, do you think he's a backup? And he's like, no, what do you think he is? My replacement. Then that's what you should call him. And then I'm like, that's just the whole Sinestro thing, because he comes to Sinestro asking him about the Manhunters, which now for the comic geeks like us, that's huge. For them, I suspected it might be the Manhunters because of the red beam. But now we know it's them, and they actually showed it. They actually show you the man. I don't know if they showed you in the trailer because I only saw the trailer. The trailer came out while we were in Hall H. So this is when I put the trailer on for you guys right now. This is going to be the second time I've seen the trailer because everything else came from full-blown scenes that we saw. So what you guys saw were excerpts from the trailer. But that guy where he's sitting across from that guy does something really fucking disturbing. Once Hal figures out, and there's some questioning that he does because Hal's trying to find out whether he's human or an alien. So he starts asking them all these stupid questions. So he asked them the basic questions like, we're in Nebraska, and he was able to tell them everything about the Cornhuskers and all that, and everything's like, okay, cool. an alien would come down and know all that basic stuff, but he would know all the stuff that wasn't pertinent to his mission. So he asked him, where did Harry Potter go to school? He couldn't answer it. He's like, they've only made 22 movies. You don't know where Harry Potter? And then he said, he asked him, this is what cracked me up. What about Barack Obama? What can you tell me about him? And he tells you all the basic stuff. Barack Obama was the 44th president. And there was some controversy about his birth certificate. That's all the guy could tell him. And then the audience cracked up because Carl Reiner was like, you're in the middle of Nebraska, and the only thing you can tell me, the only significant thing you can tell me is about Barack Hussein Obama. It was that, and he just kept quizzing him, and finally the guy just broke down and said, okay, what if I was one of these things, and I was sent here on an important mission? Wouldn't you think I would have some kind of self-destruct mechanism built into me? And he does. He has he's like, I have some type of explosive interwoven into my skeletal system, and I'm going to blow up. And that's when you see how that one scene where Hal's aiming the ring at him. That leads to that. So a lot of the stuff that you see in the original trailer is fleshed out in the scenes that we saw. Let's go ahead and let me get this up here. So far, I'm still on the air, right, guys? Because Amazon didn't take me down, which is good.
Yeah. Good. Oh, by the way,
Okay.
before you play that, Aaron, I did. Well, I saw. I haven't seen any voice commentary for that, but yeah, I'd heard there was a panel, and oh man,
Panel for what?
for Legend of the White Dragon, which was Jason David
Oh,
Frank.
that's tomorrow night. Oh, was that tonight? Oh, that was tonight at 9. I was going to go to that, but I was on the Sprocket stream. I was on my schedule, but we had delays and stuff because of battery issues. So sorry about that.
No, I'm looking forward to that, but that's going to be really emotional for obvious reasons.
I wanted to meet her tonight because she's still here. She's at the Power Rangers booth.
Also,
so I might go over there.
Well, maybe we can get into this more after you play this, but I don't know if you saw, I reposted this, that I don't know if there's a booth there for it, but apparently there's a display for Masters of the Universe.
Yeah, it's Castle Grayskull. It's huge. I got pictures.
Yeah, which moves at Mar. I retweeted him on that, and he expressed a sentiment I think is probably pretty spot on. Which is like, well, I guess as far as Amazon is concerned, that must have been a success. So they're going to do a Comic-Con display for it, right when it's hitting Amazon, and doing very well on Amazon Prime. It's well,
yeah, and that's all Amazon ever needed you to do. They want you to come to that site and buy.
And God, the number of reactions I've seen to that since it got on Prime, where people are saying it's like, oh, I love this. I wish I saw it theatrically, which I am glad now I saw it during its theatrical window, because I really
it's
dug,
goofy as fuck, but
it's supposed to be.
It's what it should be.
It's
what exactly. G.I. Joe, take a lesson. Go ahead and take that off. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, here you go. All right, this is only the second time I saw this because afterwards they started breaking it down. So here we go.
It's time to get up, Junior.
Okay, they show more of that.
You're a space cop.
No, I'm just being trained.
All right, new lesson. Take the ring. You fly.
Just fly.
I'm sorry. Fly, please.
This is funny.
What's that?
You're the backup quarterback.
For now. What do you think is going on?
It's no accident we're here. These victims are going to end up being alien.
Based on what?
I have a feeling.
He has a feeling.
I think this is more than just a feeling.
This is a threat no one's ever seen before.
What do you know about manhunters?
Where'd you hear that word?
There's another world right there.
Manhunters are the most dangerous beings to ever exist in the galaxy. And it could take the form of any species.
So it could be anyone.
He's gonna send an army to put you down.
Do you resent Hal Jordan?
The ring's always been mine. Jordan's just keeping it warm.
Sinestro. You don't really believe he's your backup, do you, Hal?
No,
Let's say what he actually is.
my replacement. In brightest day, in blackest night, no evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worship evil's might beware my power. Green Lantern's light. How about a beer?
That I did like at the end when he
Okay.
pulls out the bottle, the can opener, and then
Yeah, the bottle opener.
Well, not just that, but also because once he stops focusing on a construct, then it dissipates. So we don't usually see that too much in live action when we see in Green Lantern. So I did like that they do that. And it's like, okay, he makes it serves its purpose, and then once that disappears.
That thing that John Stewart was building, that actually gets bigger and more complex. That was kind of cool. And every time that you see them aiming and starting the ring, in the scenes that we saw, we actually got to see what they were making. It was really cool. What else was on there? Oh, the scene with Sinestro was it's much longer and it's much more intense. That thing that he's getting stuck on his head. My suspicion is that the Manhunters, that Laura Linney, the one he's talking about, she's corrupting John Stewart. And
she is a guardian. Right?
She's a guardian, but if you look at the history of the Manhunters, it ties right back to them. That's a complex history, by the way, for a show that really doesn't need us.
No, they are not.
No, the Manhunters are the original. They are the predecessors to the Green Lantern. They're fuck ups.
Yeah, Manhunter, he's really the only, as far as like the Martians in DC are concerned, he's really the only one who uses the name Manhunter. That's just kind of like a name commonality, but that's about it. But no, they are not. They are not.
Kind of confusing.
Yeah, that is.
But
it's not like specific to this. It's just it's one of those things where it's like well, sometimes you got if you hear just Manhunter in isolation, think right, not John Jones.
There was a world that the Guardians destroyed when the Manhunters got out of control, I believe. That world, that sand world, where you see the two moons and you see them picking up the skull, that is the Manhunters, was one of the Manhunters' world's bases. So it seems like there's a vengeance thing going on here, but the Manhunters are something in this particular story that you don't speak about. They're just like, we don't talk about these guys, and they're like a secret. But Sinestro obviously knows, because Sinestro was high up in the Corps at one time. I think Sinestro looks great, and his tone, his creepy. I love Mark Strong. Mark Strong was the best thing about that shitty 2011 movie. But this one fits an HBO show intensity wise, and I feel, goddamn mosquitoes, I feel what they said when they gave you the inspirations and what they were going for, and the True Detective and those type of things. You feel it because it is a mystery. Now, for the average viewer who does not know the Green Lantern beyond the basic stuff that they may have seen maybe on a cartoon or the Lunch Pail, this show is presentable to anybody. Just like the Blade Runner 2099, I could present this show to somebody who's never picked up a comic book, and I think they would instantly be intrigued by it. Now, for our comic book geeks, if you were to see what we saw, dude, our geeks that were with us, when we heard Manhunters, we're like, oh shit, we fanboyed out, because we know what that means in regards to the Guardians and the Green Lanterns. And that makes Laura Linney's characters make more sense, because she's probably the evil Guardian that still was in league when tried to use the Manhunters once the Guardians broke away from that mentality of policing the universe. She is one of those Guardians that believed it, because not all the Guardians in the universe were benevolent. So that came together.
Like Corona.
I do-
Corona's the best example. Like, the Fallen
Exactly.
Guardian of Corona.
This show is going to be an Emmy-worthy show, I believe. It's just Kyle Chandler is great in what we saw. I mean, he's that asshole pilot. He's that asshole. And Aaron Pierre is playing that Marine. There's more Marine in the clips that we saw, and you see the basis of his Marines because he actually is sent on a mission. And I think this is the mission where that Guardian discovers him because John Stewart, and it's consistent with the comics, the Ring did not choose him. The Guardians chose him. So that's always been a bone of contention between him and Hal Jordan, and it's a big bone of contention here because Hal Jordan is a traditionalist. He believes that the Ring should choose its bearer. The Guardians themselves chose John Stewart. So, but yeah, it's there's a lot of tension that you don't see in the trailer. There's a lot of tension, and there's a lot of, like I said, we chuckled at the whole green thing. I know, but there's a lot of green in this. But it's also, I felt Lantern. I felt Green Lantern, but I also felt all the other inspirations that would make this work for HBO Max. And remember, if it doesn't work for the audience that you're presenting it to, it's not even any use doing it. So let me bring up some of the things some of the pictures I took for both panels, both Blade Runner and the Green Lantern panel, because I thought they were both great. The Blade Runner,
Unless I missed something, there's no allusion to Martian Manhunter, or I mean, I haven't heard any indications, of anything in the franchise with him so far.
Yeah, I don't think we'll see him until Man Tomorrow,
if even there.
Yeah, hold up. Let's get this.
Now, granted, I mean, Martians can't shapeshift, so if they really wanted to throw a curveball, I mean, it's not. I mean, we saw what happened with Swanwick. He's disguised as a human for years and then morphs back into it. But I mean, there's nothing overtly alluding to Martian Manhunter.
Don't expect to see Martian Manhunter till maybe years down the line because he's probably going to come through Man of Tomorrow, if that soon. But they're not going to. I think that would be a little bit messed up for a brand new audience to even mention John Jones. There's no reason for him to be here. There's no reason for him to mention him. You can say that while you're presenting a show with the main protagonist or it's just, don't do that. Even smart people will fuck that up. All right, so this is I had never seen this before at Comic-Con. I guess they had this at all times, but they have curtains over it. I never saw it, but they pulled it out for Blade Runner. So I'm gonna show you this
the side screen.
Yeah,
This as a series.
I've never heard of that either. That's a panoramic view they got now.
Excitement of kind of building this out into a series, into a limited series versus a film. So,
Well,
How many?
I was so blown away.
What's the capacity of Hall H again?
one of the exciting aspects of this
6,000.
is to see this as a
6,000.
Yeah, I took as many pictures. I wanted to bring this to you guys. Experience that. This is huge. This is that where what I just showed you. This is what they replaced it with, and then that's Hunter Schafer, Michelle Yeoh, and then the two showrunners.
Michelle Yeoh, God, I
was
love to
saying
get her
to
on
you
her.
before, like, Blade Runner is like a vibe, and you either get it or you don't, and you guys have achieved it in this, and it's a really.
This is when they change. Every time they change it, I try to get a
I
movie.
don't think you're from you guys a little bit representing, obviously your collaboration with the great Ridley Scott. We wouldn't be here without the great Ridley Scott who started this all, right? Can you talk? Yes.
That was cool. What else we got here? I got more pictures and stuff for Blade Runner that I upload, but right now I just wanted to. This is us when we got into Hall H. It wasn't too bad for a Friday. I opted not to do this Saturday thing because there's just too many things I want to accomplish tomorrow. But we got in. This has been beside the two things I wanted to cover for the channel were on the same nights. This is us walking in. We actually thank you, Ronan. Ronan actually got us decent seats, or got us in the line to get position for decent seats. So, wow, the caffeine must flow. And then behind me, you see the Avengers. The whole gas lamp is set up for Avengers.
Is that
you can see the archway
hotel, or is that outside the?
No, this is the gas lamp district that enters into the downtown area. It is right across the street from the convention center. It's down the street from where I am now. And there I am with my frap because that's a Starbucks. This is me getting up in the morning. This is Troma. Oh, this I showed you them yesterday. This is me and my sponsors.
Last night.
Yeah, last night. More coffee. I have a bunch of,
They're
but I
gonna
had a
need it.
battery issue. Yeah, I had a battery issue today because of one of the pieces of equipment, one of the
There we
cameras,
are
the
right now.
port wasn't working. Yep, that's us. There's my interview with Scott
There
Stein.
last
That will
year.
stay pinned.
And actually,
Yeah, he's here this year too.
did you see that Masters of the Universe display by any chance, or get a picture of it?
Yeah, I have pictures of it. I just didn't upload them yet. I couldn't get
yeah.
the port to work, so I couldn't. We were running, me and Phil, we were all having battery issues today, and I couldn't charge anything because my USB was messed up. So I went out to CVS. I bought new chargers for everything. Right now, even as we speak, I have all the equipment. You guys can't see it, but I have all my equipment. My cameras are all charging right now, and then I have external power sources like these that and you know what, nobody bought external power sources with them but me. So I was, as we were waiting in lines and stuff, I would
Plan ahead on
hey,
these
please
things.
mine. Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you
This is
pulling
the,
up?
it's,
Yeah,
Movies
that,
of
yeah.
Mars. So this is the Masters of the Universe display they got at Comic-Con, and this is right as the movie is hitting Prime Video. So yeah, I agree with his sentiment here. This probably is a pretty good indicator that they're pretty happy with the performance of it.
Yeah.
I mean, would they have preferred they had great Amazon Prime traffic and great box office? Yeah, who wouldn't? But the priority was.
I really, be honest with you, Brad, I don't think they give a fuck. I think there are certain deals that say we have to put this in there for certain distribution, like to keep the distribution chain going. But I think Amazon just it's made like $400 million, right? I'm just throwing a number out there. They just made that as I said that. Just as I said that sentence, they just made that probably would.
I'm just saying, it's like if they had that to add on top, they're not gonna say no to that.
Yeah, but they wouldn't even notice. It would be like a fly landing on my hat right now. You might see it on there, but I wouldn't feel it. So yeah, maybe, who knows? But I love the way Amazon operates. I don't like Jeff Bezos, but I love the way Amazon has their priorities and they don't flinch from their priorities. That's a good way to be sometimes.
But there has been, I don't know if they've stated outright, okay, Masters of the Universe 2.
Thank you.
But I mean, it's pretty heavily indicated they're moving ahead with that. And no, but there's not like a panel. They just have a display there, right?
It just had a display there. And by the way, guys, Masters of the Universe 2 was greenlit when Masters of the Universe 1 was. They weren't waiting for the box office return. Masters of the Universe 2 was greenlit the same time than Masters of the Universe 1. They didn't need the only result. They know. Yeah, we probably do. They knew what they were going for, and they knew, what they were looking for, and they got it. All right, let me skip down here because I had to eat it back. There is some bad news, guys. There is some bad news. I'm too far away from the Fat Burger, so they can't deliver here.
Oh, that's definitely not good news.
Easy, William. Your nose. No one should love a company that much. It's not me about loving a company. It's
kind of worded that weird.
You have to understand. It's if you see something that's a proven commodity and the people who are doing it have had a record of success, opinions don't hold up to their success. I mean, you can have your opinion. That's great. They have results. I can have an opinion about anything I want to, but one side's had the results, and they've had the results so far. So I can't really knock them on that one. Hall H is bullshit. It's not a real gauge on assessment. No, it's not. But it gives you when in the case of like Blade Runner 2099, I left Hall H with more information than I entered Hall H with. Same thing with Lanterns. I left. The show still has to be good. You could promote the shit out of something at Hall H. If it's garbage, then it doesn't matter. You just invited a whole bunch of people to see some shit. But I don't think that's the case in any of the panels I stayed at today. Yeah. Well, one of them was his head is to the right of me. I hard to ignore him when he's talking. I have to,
It doesn't stop you when I like to discuss the awesomeness of the Furious, but
Yeah, No. I don't believe that. That looked like one of the old. If you look at the old Manhunters stuff from I think at 80 and 88, 89. I think that was it. But you know what? I wouldn't shoot Adam Strange. Would love to see Adam Strange in some type of show. The ring can shoot lasers. It can shoot force beams. It can do just about it. They were doing some things in these clips that were kind of cool. But yeah, the ring can pretty much do anything that its bearer can imagine or can will it to happen.
Well, that's also the thing I liked at the end with the construct that was green at the end with the little beer can opener where he gets the beer can opener and then he opens up and then it dissipates. I did like that. It's introducing, because once again they can create constructs of the ring. Once they stop focusing on it, then it only exists as long as they're projecting it through the ring. So I did like
Which
that
is
they're all.
Well, no, he made that can opener go away, or the bottle opener go away. Yes, I did. I was. That's why I was kind of I went on the vodka stream and I went right into our show. I was a little bit late, but yeah, we because we wanted, me and Phil were here and me and Phil were on that show, so we figured we'd give them a heads up of answer some of the questions. So yeah, let's see. This is a common. Oh, is that not a common phrase in America? My bad. When babies spit out their pacifier, start crying. You know what? Unfortunately, it's getting harder to defend my fellow fans. It's because you as a fan, as a geek, I bleed geek, guys. I'm with you, but sometimes the fandom gets into saying and doing some of the dumbest shit, and it becomes indefensible. And we build a steel trap. That we're in an industry, we're in something to where we have trained ourselves, and for the better, to allow a storyteller to tell us a story. And I think when fandom goes south is when we forget our place in this thing. We are not the fucking storytellers. All right. But we have no problem with any other medium, with the storyteller telling the story, waiting to that, and just go back to that. Go back to that. And if you don't want to watch it, listen, I can't. If you see something you don't like, I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to make a case. I think as a Lantern fan, one of my favorite characters in Green Lantern, I think if you are any type of Lantern, you're going to enjoy this. But I can't dictate that to you. But I think we've gotten into the point where the premise and the basis of some of the shit that I've heard is some of the dumbest fucking shit I've ever heard in my entire time on the planet. Sorry, I'm not saying that you guys are stupid, because some of you are scholars and smarter than me, but your premise and your launching pad for some of the stuff that they're saying about this show, especially given what I've seen, is just fucking asinine. So sorry. All right.
I agree. Let the storyteller tell a story. Can't we all agree? Especially when the suit may be a point of contention.
I would respond to this, but you're doing a good job of making yourself look like a jackass right now. So and I don't have unlimited time here to.
Yeah, it's are we not letting the storyteller tell a story? So the Martian Manhunter is the same.
It's in the name. There's only one Martian Manhunter, for what I know. I hope this show's only one season. Well, they're already working on season 2. So, but if what you're asking is if they're going to take on different angles of the Green Lanterns, that could, like an anthology. I wouldn't be opposed to that either. See, me personally, and everybody's going to be different. And as soon as you had me at Lindelof, he's one of 2 people that did the unthinkable as far as bringing Watchmen to a motion picture screen. Zack Snyder's the other one who did it in a full-length movie. So, and I've seen his other stuff. I've seen Leftover. I've seen, like I said, Lost. That's probably not the one I'll pull out as far as making his case for him if I needed to. But the majority of stuff he does has been compelling, and this is perfect for him. So, William has, yeah. I got a big head too, so it's me trying to fit this big head. It barely fits on the screen that I'm on now, so it runs in the family. You know what I mean? There's a common look at old people that I got it. I call it the Muppet look, but that's fine. Let's see. I'm gonna go through some of these because I'm hungry and now I got my sleeping pattern back. So like the last 2 days, the last 2 shows, I just wasn't getting the kind of sleep that I get because I usually, obviously, you guys know I'm a night owl. I'm a vampire. So, going to sleep at a decent hour and getting up at a decent hour. That's just not in my blood. It takes some time. So let's see. Chappie, what are your paragraphs? William, Supergirl lives.
I think he means Superman lives.
Okay, so I'll replace that. Superman Lives would have been a flop. It would have gained a cult following over the years. All right, that could be true. But here's the problem when it comes to cult movies is the immediate damage that is done. Like somebody else, like Rocky Horror, things like that. Somebody else along the line, or, the founder or whatever who made the script, but is going to make money off of it over time. But everybody else who put money down on it, everybody else who took a shot at it, and everybody who presented, like Howard the Duck is a cult classic. That got people fired. That got people disappeared. People are fucking missing.
That cult classic.
It's because I wouldn't call it a classic anything, but it's not my definition. People considered Howard the Duck, but most cult classics end up causing immediate damage to the people who took the risk. That money's gone. So yeah, something can become a cult classic, but it's done damage. Nobody wants a cult classic at that price, So yeah, and I think, and to be honest with you, I don't care if I'm in the majority or the minority, it doesn't matter. I think I think Nicolas Cage dodged a bullet. I think Superman as an IP dodged a bullet. And listen, guys, and it's the same thing with Batgirl.
Entirely offset photos. To be clear,
your
photos, not the finished product.
Your curiosity to see something doesn't mean jack shit. I've heard people say, well, I want to see it. I just want to see it. Your curiosity, just because you want to see some shit, doesn't mean it should be seen. Just don't conflate curiosity with good business. So the same people who, when they see a car accident and they slow down, that's what all that is. So yeah.
And let's just be clear. Everything William said there is based off of like him getting less from Superman Lives than we've gotten from Lanterns marketing wise.
No, because the people who are doing Lanterns brought their shit to Hall H because you know why? Lanterns is happening. Somebody sat at the process of Superman Lives and said, fuck no, we're not doing this. Big difference.
No.
All right, guys, I think that's where we're going to. Yeah, sure. You can have that fantasy in your head.
Again,
it wasn't an accident
again,
that it didn't
you saw
happen.
the image of a suit and said, this is going to be suck,
Okay.
but you did not see anything further.
The fact that you saw nothing else because somebody halted it, don't ignore that.
But you
was Lanterns. Hold on.
Did you give the storyteller
Lanterns? No, the people who funded it didn't give the storytellers, and it's their money.
Not irrelevant to you getting them a chance.
No, if it's not in front of me, I'm not going to see it. And that's pretty damning. The fact that the people who were behind the wheel of this were the ones who scuttled it. Same thing with Batgirl. So yeah. Not the same comparison, but hey guys, I am going to go. I am Brad. Yeah,
and said
you're not going to justify this without making yourself look stupid. But go ahead. That was his basis for it. Tomorrow. Today was with the battery situation and with the chaos schedule. Once I find out when I'm going to be interviewing Robert Meyer Burnett, I will go ahead and schedule the walk-alongs in the plaza. The exhibit hall, which is just as packed as it usually is, but I got my last year I was just raising my hand up to try to give you, and I'm 6'2" and I got lengthy arms, but even still it was a little bit more awkward. But here, I broke down, outdated. I'm the last one to get one, but it got my stick. It's got a remote control on it, got a little shutter thing on it, so I can do it without having to worry about where I'm aiming. I also have now this one I don't have the connection to go live with it, but I have my I have shot some footage today with it. I did an interview with this today. This little camera. This is one of the ones where I needed the USB port to do it. So there you go. There's that.
I'm going to bring up some Chappie here. Quick thoughts. Thoughts. Marvel moving past R-rated stuff for the future. I'm quite sure.
It's not going to happen. He's asked this question before, or either him or one of them. They're not going to do it. They're not going to do it. And the reason is money. It's money. Once you go R-rated for things that have been consistently PG or PG-13, you're going to shrink that audience. Deadpool is not a good comparison. Deadpool has always been R-rated. They attracted an R-rated audience. So Wolverine was different because they did it after the gamut of X-Men movies were pretty much already done, and Logan is one movie. But they're not going to start a trend of R-rated movies because they want to maximize the dollar, and it's not good business for them to do it. DC is different because DC has not established a PG-13 audience since 2008. Marvel has, so if it ain't broke, you don't fix it. So. All right, so I will do my best to schedule those tomorrow. But tomorrow we have one of the things we're going to be covering for night 3 or day 3. The top priority is going to be the Absolute DC panel. That is the one thing. That's one of the main reasons why I opted out of Hall H, being in Hall H all day, because I wanted to be at Scott Snyder's panel. Every year that he's done this panel since 2024, he's revealed something big and got us going. And even when the one in WonderCon he did. He revealed big stuff there, and then when he was there in Vegas, he revealed something big. Every panel he does, this is Comic-Con. This is where he first announced it when we first got the ash cans and everything. So I'm looking forward to that. Also, I'm looking forward to Robert Meyer Burnett. Hopefully, we're sitting at the same place. I did get an interview with an independent comic book guy today that I will upload as soon as my ports are working. I'm going to chase down Arnie Hartbacker, and we're going to update him get updated on his project, his Kickstarter. We've interviewed him before when our asking questions, but I wanted to do it at Comic-Con. I was going to go to the Legend of the White Dragon, but it just nothing came together. I really wanted to go see that, but there was so much overlap between Film Junkie and getting this show going on, because I didn't want to go too late with this show because I still got to get up.
And that's going to be an emotional one. That being that, it's not.
I still might interview her. I'm going to go by the booth. She's going to be there, and I will hand her my card and say, "Listen, I'm just not randomly walking up to you. There's a connection here with you, your father, and our audience, and even myself. I would love for you to come on, but I am expecting full rejection. I mean, some strange fool with a Shazam shirt walks up to you. Also, I'm going to do a presentation tomorrow, a small presentation, because I've been getting this question all day, especially for people who have met, and we've made friends here who see me a couple of days in a row. You guys, listen. I have more than one Shazam shirt. Rest assured, guys, I have more than one Shazam shirt. There's a reason, and you guys know from watching the show, there's a reason why I wear this shirt. You guys know when I started wearing this shirt, and there's a reason why I wear it in environments, especially whenever I'm representing the Sci-Fi Center. Generally, I have this shirt on. Now, when I'm doing a show like this, or when I'm doing it at the house, I really don't need to have it. But when I'm in the public, one of the things we do is we send hundreds, if not thousands, of people, to the movies, and a lot of times I'm there. And they need to find me, or anytime we're doing any type of crowd or wrestling event, anything like that, and I need to be found, it's really easy to find the fool with the big bright red shirt. But at any given time, I have like 15 or 20 of these shirts. But rest assured, Comic-Con people who are wondering, no, I bought multiple shirts with me, and they have my logo. They're branded. I mean, it's a work shirt. So, but it's been funny because 6 times in the last 2 days I've gotten a question. So I'm like, no, I'm not that desperate, guys. And I'll leave it with this one, then Chappie, and then we'll go ahead and wrap it up. William, it's not fair. Deadpool made $1 billion. You didn't hear what I said, didn't you? So there is room, but that Deadpool was not an MCU audience. They folded it into the MCU, but Deadpool began as an R-rated. Deadpool has always been R-rated IP. So you're telling Marvel, you're asking Marvel to change a formula that has made them $31 billion because one movie that was never theirs did. That's not a good. Yeah, that's not good. All right, guys. Like, subscribe, hit the alert bell, especially for tomorrow, because I will try to warn you when I'm popping up, but I might just be if I see an opportunity, I might just jump on, especially if all my equipment is working tomorrow. So there you go. That has been the day 2. Really, like I said, the 2 most important panels. Wow, somebody's smoking a lot of weed. California, it's legal in Vegas too, but somebody's smoking all the weed. Oof. Everybody who smokes weed, check your stash, because somebody, I think, all here in San Diego. But yeah, the 2 things panel wise, or 2 from movie wise, that I thought was was most important to the show was the Blade Runner and the Lanterns, and then Absolute DCs tomorrow. Not only for the channel, but for me in particular, because that's monetary. We really want to know what's coming out with that, so I can prepare to order. So I'm gonna go get some food, a shower, and then I'm gonna go to bed, and we're gonna get up and we're gonna load up with caffeine and do this all over again. I will see you guys throughout the day tomorrow, and then we will be doing a abbreviated Saturday overnight live. Obviously, we won't be going completely as long as we usually do, but there will be we'll be discussing Hall H. Even though I will not be there in person, there are other people that are with us that will be covering it, and then everybody's going to be covering it. Just because I won't be blowing 10 hours there doesn't mean we won't be talking about what goes on. If there's anything, I don't think there's going to be any X-Men stuff tomorrow. I think a lot of people are spreading that around. I think it's going to be focused mainly on these next two Avengers movies that are coming out, and you might get some unveilings. Robert Downey Jr. might come out there in a Doctor Doom costume, but even if he did, that's stuff I can cover on a small screen, and we can talk about that, right? All right. Guys, get some sleep, get some rest, get your weekend started the way you want to get it started, and I am going to continue to do my best to bring you as much information, and also leave in the comment section if there is something you want me to go see or a question that you have. It doesn't all have to take place in the live chat. You can leave comments, and I'll do my best to get back to you and answer you there. So good night, goodbye, have a good weekend.
See you guys.
This is StreamYard not working. I hear that clicking sound. That's me ending the show, and it's not ending. Look, Brad, my expensive shit's not working. Let's try this again.
Do
I have to do some kind of spell? Do I need like one of them things where the little sage thing where I do? Because I need magic. I guess. Let's try this again.